Hey guys, Dan here from Dan Sanger Photography, and welcome to the channel. I'm going to start a new series called Schmoetography. It's a bunch of tips and tricks to help you go from Joe Schmo to Pro. On today's episode, I'm going to talk about cameras and which one I think you should buy first. Let's check them out. Alright, so first off we have to go through the 4 different types of cameras. Number 1 is point and shoot camera. Number 2 is a bridge camera. Number 3 would be DSLR. And number 4 would be mirrorless. And yes, I did put it in that order for a reason. Alright, so what's a point and shoot camera? A point and shoot camera is something that you can just easily pull out of your pocket, press the shutter, and take a picture. Most of the time the settings are completely automatic. They might have some special modes for night photography or landscape, portraits, mostly automatic modes. A point and shoot camera is the camera that you think of when you think of your aunt at a family get together. She pulls her small little camera out of her pocket or her purse and she starts snapping away. The flash is right on top of the camera, so the pictures are going to come out a lot harsher with specular highlights, not so flattering. But it's an easy camera to get started with. Now, on the upper spectrum of point and shoot cameras, we have things like the Canon G7X or the RX100 line of cameras by Sony. I have one of those myself, and those add in a lot more features that are more professional, I say. If you're really into photography and you know your photography settings, those kind of cameras can really help you get started without having such a big camera. Alright, so the next type of camera we're going to talk about is a bridge camera. And now, as the name implies, a bridge camera is a bridge between a regular point and shoot camera and a DSLR. The form factor is a lot larger, closer to the same as an entry-level DSLR, but there's one lens to rule them all, as I like to say. It's normally a zoom lens. It's not the greatest quality. It's not going to be super fast at focusing or taking pictures. It's kind of like a jack of all trades. You can take it out when you go on family functions, family vacation, that kind of thing. You can take pictures of your kids. You can take pretty decent portraits if you step back a little bit. Bridge camera is kind of a cool place to start if you don't want to make the investment to get into mirrorless and DSLRs. If you don't want to make that investment, but you want to start learning photography basics, I suggest a bridge camera as a great alternative to forking up 4 times the price for a DSLR. Alright, the next type of camera that I'm going to talk about is a DSLR camera. DSLR stands for Digital Single Lens Reflex. That technology has been around since... The technology has been around for a long time. All of the presidential portraits in the past 20 years all been on the SLR, whether it's sporting events, the Olympics, photo shoots. Most seasoned professionals are still using DSLRs because heavily invested in the lens ecosystem, and they're very reliable and they make great images. If you ever see pictures from National Geographic or Sports Illustrated, most of those images are going to be shot on DSLR cameras. Alright, and last but not least, I want to talk about mirrorless cameras. Mirrorless cameras are a relatively new technology, and like any new technology, there's kinks that need to be worked out before they completely replace their predecessors. Waves and waves of people nowadays have been switching over from giants like Canon and Nikon to Sony, and then also even Nikon and Canon mirrorless variants. Recently, mirrorless technology has come a long way. It's getting to the point where it's surpassing DSLR quality and ease of use and catching up in terms of reliability and sheer firing power. For instance, the 1DX Mark II was like the king of like high-speed sports photography, shooting at 14 frames per second reliably. Now we have cameras like the Sony A9 that shoot up to 20 frames per second reliably with the electronic viewfinder. The difference between mirrorless and the DSLRs are DSLR means single lens reflex. It has a mirror. So you're looking in a mirrorless camera, there's no mirror. So when you take a picture, the mirror doesn't have to mechanically move out of the way. That makes it much faster to be able to take pictures. Also, the benefit of that is the sensor is reading the image as you see it. So the electronic viewfinder is much like the screen on the back of a camera or your phone, for instance, where you see the picture you're going to get. Literally, you can see a preview of the picture you're going to get when you snap the picture. So you can see all your settings and everything in your viewfinder before you take your picture, so you know basically your exposure is going to be correct. You can preview the pictures in bright sunlight on the little screen inside your electronic viewfinder. The downside to DSLRs is it has an optical viewfinder. You don't know exactly what picture you're going to get until after you take it. Now, if I had to make a recommendation, which I do because I told you I would in the beginning of the video, I would suggest getting a mirrorless camera to start out with. There are plenty of low budget, entry-level mirrorless cameras out there right now. We actually still sell the Sony a6000 even though it's 4 years old now. Alright guys, there you have it. Those are the 4 different types of cameras there are. And my recommendation for what camera you should buy first, if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I'll have some more tips and tricks videos, maybe some tutorials, some interviews with photographers who I've met and who really inspire me. Thanks so much for watching this video. This is my first video of this style in this space. So let me know what you thought in the comments below. Love to hear from you. Does my hair look okay? Fix my face. Fix your face. First video's done. Oh man.